to do.
Well, we'll see right now. We're either gonna piss people off or have a good discussion right now, because I'm gonna carry over what we were just talking about off the air, but in a specific way, a way we weren't talking about just yet. So,
the Olsen twins?
No, prior to that, no. So, in a discussion, we're a bunch of friends of the program. We were all playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom last night in Discord. We're all hanging out, talking about a lot of things, talking about music, talking about all these things. We get to this topic that I just want to know. I want a temperature check from the three of you, because I was the odd man out in this conversation. Would you describe the band Paramore, a band that I like, a band that I enjoy, a band that has a new album this year that's fantastic, as massive?
As
No,
massive?
Massive.
Absolutely not. I'd say
Massive?
minor.
Mm-mm.
Minor. I don't even think they're middle range.
Now, go ahead.
They're a pop punk band that like went away. They were on the
big.
they were on the verge of like going away before that album that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head.
Like,
Super hot take.
Riot.
I always thought Paramore was a hard rock band with a lead front girl. I never knew anything about them, and like I when I found out it was pop music, I'm like, guys, the resurgence I saw recently, I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought Paramore was. And
No,
like, this
No, they have jams. Like, I like Paramore. Haley Williams is good and talented.
No,
and I like their new album too. I think the
like
new
heavy
album has
metal.
good music on it. But yeah, maybe we talked about it a little bit more, and maybe there was a distinction of like just how I viewed the term massive and how they were using the term
think
massive.
they were massive, or someone else thought they were massive?
Everyone else agreed that they were massive, and part of
No
that,
way.
They're an opener for Taylor Swift right now.
That's why they're
Listen.
being bigger. Yeah,
Listen.
yeah, exactly. That's why they're blowing
Part
up
of
now.
this
They're blowing up more
conversation
now
was-
than they were back then.
Part of this conversation was furthered by, they're on tour right now and they are selling out Madison Square Garden, which is not a bad thing, but like
No.
I feel like a lot of artists do sell MSG out or wherever they're whatever other big places they're at. In comparison, we then talked about like the massive, or in my opinion, like the superstar, the top level, like the Beyoncés, the Jay-Z's, the fucking Taylor Swifts selling out like Gillette Stadium. Like Taylor Swift is Gillette Stadium next weekend, and she's 3 nights in a row, and they're all
They had
sold
to add
out.
they had to add a show because people
like,
got fucked over.
Like
yeah.
that's like top tier. And
That's massive.
the argument was that there's that level, and Paramore's in the tier below that, and I was just like, I can't, no way. Like I like Paramore, but no.
Like I said, I don't even think they're mid range. I think I'm more of a music buff than I am a movie buff, and like I would not even even.
But you also don't know Paramore, so.
Well, I mean, and that's what this goes to. I think that speaks volumes because, like, I fucking have listened.
I don't know about that. There are plenty of like big.
I know
big
the one song that you hear
musicians
all the
or
time.
groups
What's like
that
their
I.
biggest song?
You know a bunch of their songs. I'm
I
sure.
mean, yeah, you
I
definitely know Misery Business, but I'm trying to think what their other big songs were.
Yeah, if you
That's
can't
What You
think of
Get.
other big songs, yeah, like if you
Into
can't think
You?
of more than 3 songs,
Into You.
Into You's the one I know. Into You's the one I know. Yeah, so that's 3
Then
songs.
you definitely
that
know
can
the
think of.
yeah.
I think that's a whole different conversation because like.
Well, I view like massive on a scope of like how like if their albums have like tons of singles that are fucking massive hits, and I'm not just saying massive because we're saying massive, but if like you have like a bunch of albums that have like pretty big singles that come off of it,
Yeah.
They have like 2 big albums with like singles.
yeah, and then they did nothing forever, right? Like or like they come back now and kind of do like a reunion tour kind of thing, and like
Yeah.
they get on TikTok and everything blows up because like, hey, I remember Paramore. It's like,
I don't know. I almost. It was late. It was late 30. Like it might have been like 1 o'clock. I was debating like.
You were up till 4. So it doesn't
yeah,
really
no, I was
matter.
up super late. But like I was debating messaging Mike and being like, Mike, can you fucking swing in here real quick? I need your take. I need your opinion on this.
I probably been fucking fast asleep. But
yeah, that's why I mean, it's late.
I mean, you could have sent the message, but I just wouldn't have responded until the next morning. Yeah, I like Paramore, and maybe I'm just not hip with it because remember we're all like pretty close to getting out of the target demo. Like we're out of like the 18 to 34 range.
Oh, how old were those people
Isn't
when
it
they
18
were?
to 24?
I think maybe 18 to 24, but then maybe 24 to
Or
30.
maybe it's, I guess it's different demos.
Yeah,
like radio
yeah.
uses a different
there's
demo
like-
than TV.
Yeah, there's a I think 34, 35 is like the cutoff for like the target. Like
Okay.
legit, like so maybe we're just not hip.
Todd's been out for like a decade.
No,
Todd's
so they've
been-
been talking. So Misery Business was 2007. What have they done since then? Is basically my question, and probably nothing.
They had an album out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like no. Okay, but
They
I
had-
mean, listen, they have an
they
album
had-
out this year,
they had
and they're
another
on tour
album.
right now, and they sold out Madison Square Garden. That's not something to like sneeze at. I'm not saying that like they are
But
nothing.
I'll say this.
but-
I'll say this. That someone just said that they opened up for Taylor Swift.
Yes, their first.
You're getting
her
all
first
their
two shows,
fans.
I
It's
think.
just like Jenny Lewis is like.
I don't know if you're getting
female-
all their fans,
No, listen. Like,
but it's
Jenny
a great.
Lewis
That's
is
a
like-
great thing to open up for on a
not
tour
all
like
their
that.
fans, but like Jenny Lewis is like a female singer I fucking love. She opened up for Harry Styles, and all of a sudden she fucking blew up and is selling out of these places that she would have never done. She was like another indie rock kind of girl, and like
I mean, Paramore's been around for a bit, and like Hayley Williams like has done solo stuff and like been featured in other people's pop songs like as a vocalist and stuff. Like I don't think like Hayley Williams / Paramore are like nobodies. Like that's not
I don't think so either.
at all what I'm
not-
trying to
that's not
say.
what I'm saying. I just don't even think it's a close conversation to have them in the fucking massive category.
who would you put in the massive category? Or you finish
Wait,
first off.
Todd, Still Into You. That was the song that you said you recognized.
Yes, that's the last one. When was that?
That was from their album Paramore that came out in 2013.
2013. Okay,
So they have like,
And I
they
only
have,
know
like,
that-
albums in.
that's the only song I know.
I don't know. I think you probably know "Ain't It Fun" too, and that's also on that album.
Let me see. I'll tell you right now if I know it.
Yeah, I mean,
Where would you
I don't want to have a whole podcast on this. I just so then because this is kind of where I walked away from the conversation at some point and just wanted to move on with my evening and play Zelda. But if like the superstar level is the top, obviously you get the people selling out the stadiums. And let's just, for sake of the conversation, let's say Massive is the tier below that. If Paramore's not in that tier, who is in that tier? So we can like define the tier.
Here below the superstars.
Yes.
That's a tough question because I feel like music's so.
Probably-
hold on.
Probably a lot of the probably a lot
Tier
of like the
below the superstars, right? Is what you're asking
so
for?
so we're saying
Yes.
like Beyonce,
I would say, yeah, Beyonce, Taylor Swift,
Taylor Swift.
Bad Bunny.
I wouldn't even put Bad Bunny up there. I don't think.
Yeah, I
Does he
wouldn't.
Bad
sell
Bunny
out?
is I
think-
believe, the biggest artist in the world currently.
Oh, I'm sure he's
Yeah,
huge right now,
like-
but I think he's not going to have any longevity. Like this might be his little like window of.
That's
fucking fame.
besides
Okay,
the point. The
I-
point
So-
is like
So
massive
I guess,
now.
So I guess
Oh,
on that
massive
is-
now. Okay, I thought you meant massive in general.
are you putting
Okay.
Ed Sheeran in there?
Yeah, I would put Ed Sheeran up the top. He just is. I mean, I would probably put Adele up there too.
Adele makes sense. Yeah, I agree with Adele.
I guess she's
I
doing a
get- it's
Vegas
weird.
residency.
Yeah, but so many
Oh.
people are doing Vegas residencies now.
Well, like
it's like the thing to
Vegas
do.
residency is like like you
It's-
get people like Usher doing it, but then you have like people that are still relevant
Yeah,
making music.
you got Carrot Top out there doing.
Like
Vegas
it's
residencies.
a lot of work, but it's a paycheck. You know what I mean? It's like
Well,
a
I
big
think
paycheck.
I think the reason you're seeing a lot more Vegas residencies now is because streaming, like people don't sell albums anymore, so their money comes from fucking concerts only. Like they don't get like what they
Yeah.
used to get for selling albums.
I
It's
don't
like
know. I want
Well,
to
they're
move on.
they're also getting a huge paycheck, and like,
yes, yeah. On top,
you only
of the
do
sales
one
of-
tour. Yeah.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
I want to move off this topic and
Still-
go on to the
it's
regular
still-
show. But
Sorry,
No,
I was
it's
gonna
fine.
say it's pretty similar to what Billy Joel did, where he
Yeah.
just like has that
Yeah.
New York show that he does every year
Yeah.
or whatever.
Dude, Lady Gaga did a Vegas show. Like, yeah, it's
Like-
that's
Britney Spears.
Yep.
I mean, I guess she's a different story, but
I think that's the other distinction too, is like then you have like the legacy that are still up the top. Like if like Jay-Z's not really touring, but if Jay-Z did a tour, he would be selling out stadiums. He wouldn't just be playing like
so
small
that's what I was
venues.
gonna say is that there's probably separate categories for like that top tier where there's like
Like Eminem's not
the
touring, but if
Stones.
Eminem
Like
did a tour, it would probably
like the
go
Rolling
bonkers.
Stones. The Rolling Stones go on tour, they're gonna sell out their tour.
Yes.
They're not
Aerosmith's going on
they're
their
not
farewell tour
current.
right now.
Yeah.
They're
Or
not a
even
cover band. I wouldn't put them up there as like superstars. But
So
like,
I think
if they did a tour, they would sell
yeah,
out. The tour.
I think Legacy would just be a separate, like they're just long term established
Definitely.
and
So,
still
like,
doing well if they decide to tour. and
U2.
stuff. Yeah.
what do you think about MCR? Because didn't their tour like fucking?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
but
put them
that's the same. That's the same thing as Paramore, where they like
Yes,
were
100%.
gone for so long and
yes,
they came back.
yes, 100%.
But I'd also they'd either end up in the same tier as me, or maybe MCR would like be a bump higher. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think what would be that stage below that, and I'm thinking I don't know. I want to say something like Imagine Dragons, but like, is Imagine Dragons selling out stadiums? They might be.
Oh
I have
yes,
no idea.
no. Imagine Dragons like
were.
massive. They're massive right. No, they're still massive right.
Are
now,
they
Imagine
still that
Dragons.
big?
They're still that big. Yes, they've like because if you think about it, like they've had songs connected to shows over and over again. On like they're huge with like younger kids, but like they're also like they have their older audience. They're one of those. And I'm not a fucking massive whatever the fuck their name is, Imagine Dragons fan, but I only like their Arcane song. That one's good.
Like I don't know. It's the same thing. Like I'd probably put Drake up in that top tier category.
You got to put
But-
him in massive, and I don't even like him, but like
Yeah, he might dip a little bit lower. He's probably come a little bit out of popularity from where he was.
Yeah.
He's not at the peak
He's on the way
anymore.
down.
You know what I mean?
But
He's
I
not
feel
at
like
the peak.
I feel like Drake's peak was way higher than Paramore's peak ever was. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, no,
And
Drake crossed over into being a pop star. Like, that's
Yeah.
a whole
Yep.
different situation. Like, that's just the reality of it. I don't know. It's hard. I feel like the concert venue thing makes it a very small box of like, you have the people that can sell out stadiums and the people that can sell out like just regular venues. Obviously, then there's small venues. But like, yes, Gillette Stadium is bigger than the TD Garden. So like, if that's the two, like, you know, how we're measuring these things, then I don't know. The massive category is going to be gigantic.
Yeah.
And the top tier is going to be, you know, a lot smaller. But anyways.
That second tier might have country music stars in it. That might be what you're.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's what's
yeah.
throwing me off because like I don't know who's popping in country. There's that.
Yeah.
that
I feel like country's
like
kind of
truck
dropped off.
song.
I know Brendan doesn't want to stick on this, but like there were like two massive phases over the last like 10 years. There was an EDM phase where like that's all people gave a shit about for like 5 years, and like you know, you had other pop stars. And then there was like this huge country phase that like everyone was going to country shows and
Country music that was popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to move off this. Would Billie Eilish be like the tier below that? I feel like tier below.
I don't think
right?
I think she's a tier below massive. I think she's pretty massive, but I don't think she's
pretty big.
100%.
Whoa.
I think- yeah,
okay, hold on.
like-
So I want to like triple clarify.
Yeah,
Like
sorry, I didn't
we're
mean-
like the superstar level, and then massive is below that.
Are we just
Yeah.
doing this?
No, we're not doing this. We need to.
I like
we
it.
need
I like
to-
it.
We need to.
So,
This is a terrible episode of the podcast.
I think the other problem becomes that we're using tour sales as evidence that bands are massive. I think we need to use record sales as
that's
Well, I
an
don't
even
think
more
so.
archaic way of doing it at this point.
I don't think.
But,
I don't think.
but
record
not
sales
everybody's.
matter.
But
It's
not
like
everybody's
everyone's-
going to tours.
No,
But
I know that, but also like if you look at
there's not even record stores anymore. Like,
yeah,
it's all
like
digital
record
and streaming.
sales is like a very like basically
Yeah,
the
you
only
have-
the
you
only
still have albums go platinum and stuff.
yeah, but
They
those
use-
are pretty
they use
much
digital sales.
those are pretty much
Yeah.
like the only ones that are really tracking and talking about that stuff are the huge stars. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
there you go.
well, yeah. So that's just
That's
like
that's
that-
exactly the clarification we were looking
yeah,
for.
but that adds
But, like-
clarification to like the superstar status. I think.
So like how
That's the top tier that you were looking for.
I think
would
the
say
I think the
that
top
all these-
tier is pretty clear. I think that's like an
Yeah,
easy
I do too.
thing to look at. It's like the tiers below that get a little dicey.
So if they're using their record sales, but we don't think they're in that top tier, then they'd be in that second tier.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think
know.
record sales come into play because Stern has all these people on all the time, and these people are like, it's not about record sales anymore. We don't fucking care. About
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You
Like,
can look at
they
streaming
don't-
numbers
like-
too, but like even if you look at streaming numbers, I looked at it last night when this conversation was happening, and I'm like, okay, the top 50 artists for the year so far, like, you
Like
know,
Rihanna.
like at least 20 of these artists aren't even putting new music out this year. They're just like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
extremely
well,
popular musicians that, you know, are just extremely popular musicians. So it's like I don't know. That I feel like would have to like really sit down and come up with the metrics for the conversation, and then we can build a case. Either way, I just wanted your brief take on Paramore, and here we are. Anyways, welcome everyone to the Task Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about Paramore too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you this evening?
We didn't even talk about Paramore that much, to be honest.
No, we didn't really.
Yeah, that's fair. Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Todd of the Kingdom. I don't know. Tears of the King Dad. I don't know. Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
I will say that I'm pretty sure we all agreed though on Paramore. It was a pretty unanimous thing. Like,
yeah, I think we were all leaning towards bumping that lower than Massive. And then rounding some.
I don't get the Massive point. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen. We're just normal men. We're just innocent men.
We should just go on the street. I'm gonna get a microphone and just walk around. It's like, hey, how do you feel about Paramore? I'll be like the new Billy Eichner.
That's a good way to that could be another, like, we have to, it's like a multi-pronged evaluation. Like, there's ticket sales, there's record sales, there's streaming numbers, there's YouTube video plays, and then there's Mike on the street gauging public random we asked 50 people. Mike is just polling people on the street to see if people even know who Paramore is.
You're going to get people that be like, we don't listen to radio anymore, so we don't listen to new music. That's basically what you're going to get if you did that.
That's fine. That's still an answer.
Anyways,
yeah, no, it's a good answer.
Rounding us out tonight, of course, is the Disney daddy, Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Hell yeah. I decided to take a sip because I thought you were going to... I thought you were going to do... I thought you were going to do what the other two did, which was continue to riff on Paramore.
That's the end.
Thank you. I appreciate it. A couple of quick housekeeping things.
But I do want to bring up...
Yeah, got him.
We'll roll right into it. This episode, of course, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. But, oh no, big news. They're now open from 11 to 11, I believe, on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays as well, or just Fridays, Saturdays, Mike?
Just Friday and Saturdays. Because we have to account for your... I imagine you're going to mention the chubbies, yeah.
So you can get your cookie fix earlier in the day. You don't have to wait until that nighttime roll around to get those delicious, hot, fresh, delivered or out of the oven cookies to your face hole, to your doorstep, wherever it may be. And of course, as Mike alluded to, if you want something delicious on Sunday morning, you want a little chubby in your life, check them out on social media at Good Morning Chubby, and you will not be disappointed, let me tell you. Anyways, a couple of housekeeping things. Keeping up with the cocktails for new game releases, I put out a video for Calamity's Respite, which is our Tears of the Kingdom cocktail. You can find it on our YouTube channel, on Twitter, and on our website at pastthecontroller.io. So check that out and enjoy it. And enjoy that while you're playing Tears of the Kingdom this weekend. A few other things. My full written review of Redfall is up on the website, which you can take a look at. I'll talk a little bit about Redfall tonight as well. But before we do that, the PTC Movie Club pick, we are a little bit late revealing this. We apologize. Last week we had some conflicts, so we did not record an episode for you. So instead, you're getting a new one today, which means the PTC Movie Club pick for May is being revealed now, which is my pick. And we're going with Manchester by the Sea. Mike, you've not seen this, correct?
No.
All right. None of us have seen it. So Todd might have seen it, but...
Todd's seen it.
Yeah, but I'm excited to make Amanda watch this. So, like, this is going to be a whole new experience, and I'm very excited.
There we go.
And I'm excited for all of your responses because it's very rare. It's like There Will Be Blood. I can name, like, maybe 3 other movies where I walk out and I'm like, holy acting. That fucking movie is just like on another level. Yeah, it's like it's like on another level.
Okay, all right. I'm excited. You're gonna have Amanda either take notes or have Amanda like give you her like little thoughts.
Trust me.
And then
I'm gonna make sure Amanda's involved in what I have to say.
Have her sit right next to you. Have her sit right next to you.
Todd's the old man who walks out of a theater and then says to a stranger, "Holy acting, am I right, fellas?"
I can't believe Darth Vader was his dad.
Theater as him.
Anyways, so as we do with movie picks, it is my pick. I still don't know what this movie is actually about, so my guess as to what the plot of this is, I don't know. It's the North Shore of Massachusetts, so I'm gonna say
on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening.
On a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. I'm gonna say it has probably something to do with drug addiction, and I think that's a key part of the plot. Is that there's either someone dealing with drug addiction or either one of the main actors. Casey Affleck and Michelle Williams. Yeah. One of them has drug addiction problems, or like someone in their family does, and that's like what the movie's about. That's just my guess. I have no fucking idea.
Do any of you guys?
They probably have some scenes on boats.
I feel like I knew
Conan O'Brien's sister is in the movie somewhere. I know that much.
Okay, all right.
I just saw Matthew Broderick listed.
Why do I not remember Matthew Broderick in the movie?
I don't know. It is streaming on Amazon Prime. That was what I was looking for.
Okay.
I feel like I knew a very loose plot structure at some point, but I don't remember what it is anymore. I do remember that it's like very heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be pretty heavy. Rated R. It's about a little over 2 hours.
It gives me like a feeling in the pit of my stomach thinking about that movie, and like when Tom's like it's very heavy, I'm like, oh. I'm like, I guess I'll watch it again, but it's not. It's a movie I'll probably never watch again. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
that's how heavy this movie is.
But I don't know why I've always wanted to see it. It might just be
local.
Yeah, because it's filmed up here, but also like
you love Casey Affleck.
Jen loves Dawson's Creek and Michelle Williams, so it's like,
yo. If you told me Michelle Williams would turn out the way she did now from Dawson's Creek, I was like Katie Holmes all day, you know. But like Michelle Williams,
probably has the best acting career out of everyone from that show.
Easily, she's like hands down, like she should have won an Oscar by now. She's been nominated like 4 or 5 times too.
I mean, the category was stacked. The 2016 Oscars or the 2017 Oscars for Best Supporting Actress for that film. But yeah, I feel like she's been in other films that have been.
Oh, but tons of like
award winners or award nominees.
Indie movies and stuff. Yeah, definitely.
She'll get one. I think she was nominated for an Oscar last year too. I don't know what she was in.
What's it called? Spielberg's movie about.
Oh yeah, the Fablemans.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's locking down. Did Katie Holmes ever have like big deal acting roles after?
She was the one who took off, and then like honestly, the whole Tom Cruise thing destroyed her career. Like no joke. Like she was in like a lot of stuff. And
she was Rachel Dawes. Come on, guys.
That's true.
So like she was in a lot of like The Faculty, like teen horror movies, like when she first.
The Faculty is what you picked.
Yes, like as far as that movie goes, but like I mean, no, but she was like a huge deal. She was in like a ton of movies, and that Tom Cruise thing destroyed her career. 100%. It's Seinfeld.
I love this woman.
Right, that's the fucking craziest shit I've ever seen.
Anyway, so watch that movie. We'll talk about it at the end of the month. Yeah, we'll go.
I remember I wanted you to pick that movie like a year ago when you were debating picking it.
It was on my list at some point of like movies that I was gonna pick. So I was like, you know what? There's a few that have been on that list for a bit, and I'm gonna slowly start picking them. I think we'll see. I don't want to lock myself into any rubrics, but we're gonna finally pick one off my list. So there we go. Manchester by the Sea. We'll talk about it at the end of the month. All right. Before we get into the sort of main topic tonight, which will be Redfall and Xbox, we'll quickly go through. We'll do a full dedicated episode on Star Wars in general, but obviously with a big focus on Jedi Survivor. Todd and I are about halfway through, but Dom has finished it. Dom, where are you at on the other side of Jedi Survivor now?
I had none of the. I had one quick performance issue, and it was literally like blink and you miss it. So I didn't experience any of the performance issues that anyone was having.
I've only had one. It kicked me out. Like I got kicked. Like I had to restart my Xbox, but that's like 1 out of like 15 hours probably so far.
Mine wasn't even that bad.
I haven't had really any performance issues on Xbox.
Neither have I. I haven't played
Mike,
it.
did you beat Bogdo Boglin?
I did not beat Oingo Boingo.
What's the what is the enemy's name that Mike's stuck on?
Ogdo Bogdo.
Bogdo. You'll get that, Mike. I believe in you.
Spoiler free, the story relies on something that I didn't expect it to. Um, I didn't hate it. I just think I prefer the story from the first game.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Okay. Because I've really enjoyed the
supporting
story.
cast is really good. Obviously, I love Cameron as Cal.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's so good.
Cal's
And
fantastic.
He's way more likable this game too.
But I like the main cast. Like
they
I think
flesh him out a lot.
I think like Grease is great. I think Marin's great. Like I think they're like I think the game is very well acted.
Yeah, it is. What was it just? Oh, they wrote a book to go into this game, and it has been completely ignored and retconned at points. So,
oh wow,
really?
Interesting.
Not even. I don't understand why they do this supporting material if they're literally just not even going to use the information that they've given you.
Yeah, like how would you even know that it's support? I've never heard of anything.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It is
The one thing from the book that is like in the game and they don't really make like mention to is that Grease is missing an arm. Grease has his arm cut off in the book, and they like don't mention why he has a mechanical arm in the game. But
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a side quest or like a journal entry or something that you can, or like just dialogue in the cantina that might address it. But yeah, when you had said before the game came out that there was a book that was going to be like the bridge between the two, I feel like that's always such a hard thing to like put canon stuff into, because where is that Venn diagram of like people who are gonna play both of these games and read that book? Like,
well, it's just a chance to flesh out. They've had already told us that it was going to take place 5 years after the first book.
Yeah.
So it was a chance to like flesh out, like, all right, it's 5 years in between. Like, let me give you a little bit of like where these characters are at.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man's doing it the same thing. They're doing a couple of comics. Yeah, I think they're doing another one.
Oh, interesting.
There are some cool. There's some cool stuff that I read about that I had not even experienced yet. That's how much like side stuff there is to do. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this as spoiler free as I can, and I'm trying to not use words.
So I'm falling into that though. I'm doing side stuff, and I feel like I'd be way further in this game if I wasn't doing the side stuff. But I'm actually really enjoying doing the side stuff. So it's like
there's a lot of good. There is a lot of good like side stuff to do.
I felt like I had to rush through this game for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's basically like that was my mentality. I'm sure Brenden feels the same way.
Well, that's like
I wanted to rush. I wanted to rush through as much of the story as I could. I mean, I didn't even rush. I like got a bunch of side stuff done. I think I have. Yeah. I think I'm like 50% through with trophies.
Jeez. Yeah, like I obviously re-picked back up Fallen Order to try to get it done quickly before Survivor came out, and I did that. And you know, you're rushing through a game like that, you know, it's gonna definitely affect how you feel about the game overall. So I still like Fallen Order. I think Fallen Order is great. I like the story. I like the gameplay, but just even only being halfway through Survivor, it's like I feel like it's story pending, since I am enjoying the story now, but Dom had some wavering thoughts on it.
I don't know. I don't know if it just. I don't know. I'll let you guys make your judgments as you finish the story.
But like gameplay wise, or everything else story aside, like I think it's, and not that Fallen Order was bad. I just think it's an improvement across the board. Like you start that game off in a really cool way, and the game picks up, and you're like not necessarily like fully powered up the way you were at the end of Fallen Order, but like the game carries your character forward in a
lot of
way.
Games don't. Yeah, like a lot of AAA games don't, like, you don't expect to come into the game like where you were. Yeah,
it's kind of funny because I think to an extent, not the same, but to an extent, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom kind of does something similar, but not really. But I won't get into that. And it's not really the same, but it sort of, but it's different. And I can't, without explaining why I'm saying that, it doesn't make any sense. So I forget I said that, I guess. But yeah, we'll do
I'll
a
also
full,
say
go
that,
ahead.
yeah, we'll talk more about. I was just going to bring up, just because we're talking about like gameplay, the stance, the introduction of the different stances. That
Really
was,
good.
yeah. It also allows for a lot more like play customization.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
everything that I was reading online was like people like, oh, I never used that stance, and I was like, that's the one that I used the entire game.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was curious what stance you guys are using, because like I feel like I don't know if I'm using the stance that you guys are using.
I'm using blaster and lightsaber, bro. I'm just going.
I want to use that stance, but I can't. I haven't gone into that stance enough.
Again, I have not played this game. I don't know what we're talking about.
I
You
am
do, but you
primarily
don't.
using crossguard and double saber. Those are my two.
Wait, double sabers are.
No, that's double blade. Double saber is two sabers. I'm using
Okay,
two
so I'm
saber or
cross-
crossguard.
See, a lot of
Cross-saber
people. Go ahead.
Darth Maul's.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used blaster and
Yeah.
single blade.
Single
Wow.
blade. See, I haven't even touched single blade, and I like single. I'm a single blade guy, and like
I just feel like
I'm a
it's
single blade
using-
guy.
I feel like it gave me the like ability to parry and the ability
sure.
to move around
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
the ball blade
It's
is so
just-
good just for that throw. The throw, the ball blade,
Yeah, no.
it goes in a circle.
I agree with
Great.
you. I think it's one of the best gameplay improvements in this game is the varied stances. It gives the player a lot of opportunity to like play how it's like most comfortable or fun for them to play. And I think it just brings a lot of variation into the combat, which I really appreciated, because that was probably one of my biggest gripes with Fallen Order was I felt like the combat got very not stale. It just like it kind of plateaued, and then you don't. I mean, mild spoiler sort of for Fallen Order. You don't get that third stance until basically the end of the game, and I was like, why would you give this to me at the end of the game? This is like
Yeah, I
one of the
fucking
best
hate
things in
when
the
they do
game. Double blade.
Well, they do what they do in Ghost of Tsushima. Like same thing. Like you get like equally different stances that you can like approach the game with, and kind of like
Yeah.
makes the game. It makes it that much funner because I'm like, oh, I'll go back and play with these stances.
Yeah, I mean, it was
I'll
like,
actually.
earlier this year I played and reviewed like a Dragon Ishin, and the same thing. There was multiple. It was like 4 stances, I think, and like I primarily used like 1 or 2 of them, and the other 2 I never touched. But I like games that give you that like combat like flexibility. I think it just makes it better for everyone. So yeah, we'll do a dedicated episode on that, as well as kind of the state of Star Wars. I think it'll be a good episode, so we'll do that probably in the coming weeks. It'll be a good time. And then before we get into that final topic, kind of early impressions, obviously like completely spoiler free for Tears of the Kingdom. Where are you at? How are you? Where are you at with this game now, Todd?
I mean, I think I texted Brenden yesterday, and I was like, 2023 Game of the Year. I'm like, unless anything, or when we were talking. Or something,
Yeah, it was this morning actually on the phone.
Yeah, I mean, you get within the first hour of like the way it starts. I was literally, I'm not like as big of a Zelda guy as Brenden. I played 90% of the Zelda games. I'm not like. It's a childhood staple for me, so like obviously I try to act like I'm not going to play it when it comes out. And I'm like, and then I end up playing it every time, minus a couple. But yeah, I mean, this game is fucking awesome. It's just it's bringing me back to a moment that I don't get that often in gaming. And like I'll use a couple of gaming examples: Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like that style of game for me. Like I'm leaving out so many other games, but like Elden Ring, because Elden Ring blew me fucking away for a straight month and a half. That like I couldn't fucking touch anything else, and it's like the same fucking thing. It's like it's one of those once every 5-year games you get. Like, and you don't get these games that often. You get plenty of good games, but you don't get games like these.
Yeah, this is
my only gripe is I would love it on new hardware, but.
Yeah.
Completely fine.
But like yes, I think
I
think pretty much anybody would agree with that statement. I mean, at this point, the Switch came out in 2017, so it's like, I mean, we're coming on almost 6 years.
And I'm using my 2017 Switch,
which
so
is wild to me. But
and
also,
it's actually working. I'm having no issues
Yeah.
on like the handheld. It's great.
does the fan get super loud when you're playing it? No.
Oh, never even heard a peep out
Like,
of my Switch.
the new hardware thing aside, what I will say is like kind of bonkers impressive, and I don't even understand. Like the people that work on the Zelda game are magicians. How they can get what this game is to run the way it does on an already, like, compared to, you know, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles, like vastly underpowered compared to those. But even when it was up against PS4 and Xbox One, it was still, I believe, like less horsepower, less whatever. So the fact that they can pull off what they're pulling off is kind of mind-blowing, especially when you play this game and see the actual scope of what's happening in the game, both from just how much is in this game to also how much is in the world real time, where it's like you look at something like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which a game I loved. That game ran horribly. It had some of the worst draw distance on the Switch, like things that were, you know, not far from you in the game were popping up. And this is like, you can see out over the sky, and there's stuff below you that's there, and there's stuff out in the distance that's there, and it's all there. And it's just active and moving. And I'm just like, I don't know how they can pull this off. It's so technically impressive. And I've had really, I don't think I've had any frame dips for the most part. And I've had some situations where a lot of crazy stuff's going on the screen. It technically very impressive that this far into the Switch. I mean, that's also a benefit to them that this far into the Switch. They've been developing on this hardware for, you know, probably close to 8 years, because they were probably, you know, developing on it while the system was being made. So they definitely know how to get the most out of this system, which is very apparent. It's kind of the same thing where it's like you look at something like Ghost of Tsushima or Final Fantasy VII Remake or Last of Us Part 2. Those came out the last, you know, few months of the PS4, so they were taking full advantage of developing on that hardware for so many years, where at the end of that console life cycle, you're getting that, you know, real what can this hardware do? Let's push it to the limit. And that's what they're doing with Tears of the Kingdom for sure.
You know what's random is I've been a little off topic, but me, Liam, and Logan have been 3-player co-oping Super Mario 3D World, and that game's fucking gorgeous, man.
That game's incredible.
Especially on TV. Like I usually, like, you know, I do both. I'm mostly handheld, but when I play on TV, sometimes the games just don't look as good. Man, every time we play that game, I'm like, oh, good.
Well, the thing, and I don't know if this is a cognizant choice or not. I mean, in the case of Mario, it's just that's the way those games look. But something like Zelda, that art style's changed throughout the years. You know, they do stuff that looks more realistic. They do stuff that looks more cartoony. They do stuff in the middle, like it is now. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are kind of like that middle of, it's not hyperrealism, but it's not cel shaded. It's like this middle ground. But that like stylistic approach benefits them on something like the Switch, that, you know, they can like this, like there are muddy textures in Tears of the Kingdom. Like it's not like this 4K glorious best thing you ever looked at, but because I think they're being very purposeful with their choices, both gameplay wise and art style wise, it just works. You know what I mean? It just works.
At no point did I ever think any looks. I mean, I've probably played like 10 hours in like 3 days, but like at no point have I ever.
Said, it doesn't look bad. It's gorgeous.
Nothing.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, nothing looks bad to me.
I'll say the same way I describe Breath of the Wild, because they're the same art style for the most part, if not exactly. It's like playing a painting. Like it's like you are like in. To me, it's like you're playing in a watercolor painting. It's so fucking gorgeous. But yeah, I spoiler free, obviously. Like I have probably game came out yesterday. I stayed up until 3:30 in the morning playing it.
Yeah, I felt like it was 2 days ago.
Couldn't tell you the last time I like felt that compelled to. Hey Jen, we're gonna celebrate your birthday last weekend because I'm playing Zelda when it comes out. Like that's where
dude,
we're
I woke up at 6 a.m. to play the fucking game. Like I don't do that for fucking anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I can barely get out of bed at that time.
I played it almost entirely today, and I am just like, the game, you know, has new mechanics. Some of them are similar to stuff from Breath of the Wild. Some of it's, you know, a lot different. You know, clearly if you've seen the trailers and the directs and stuff, you know, there's a building aspect to this game. I think that all of these systems function really smartly and very well, and they are just like a sandbox for creativity. And once you, at first it might seem like a lot, especially because like Todd and I had talked about, you know, both of us, we're not like big playing games where you're like building stuff necessarily. And I think for a lot of people that can be an intimidating mechanic, especially when it seems like the game sort of revolves around that. But I think once you get through that tutorial section of learning these systems, it just works. Like, it just makes sense. It's just very intuitive. It's very simple. There are things that exist in the game even early on that like assist you if you know, if it's really not going to be your jam as far as like building and stuff. There are things to get around that. And also, like, you can definitely, like, there are certain things that require you to like use the mechanic, but not necessarily like build contraption. You don't need to be an engineer.
It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, like you can figure out ways to just use the mechanic to do thing instead of like, I'm going to build a mech that shoots fire and rolls around.
I'll say this about Tears of the Kingdom and Jedi Survivor. I'm not a puzzle guy. Like, I don't like fucking puzzles. I will say with both of these games, I feel like they were both implemented very well, where like I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm solving everything. And I'm not like, what the fuck, man? Fuck this game. Like, and I gotta go play something else. Like, these two games have actually been warming me up to puzzles a little bit. And I'm like, I just want to go shooty, bang, bang, lightsaber, cut off some arms and shit. You know, that's all I care about. But like, yeah, I'm enjoying both sides of those. But fucking Tears is just gonna fucking steal the show for the next like forever.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to peel me away from Tears for a bit. It's really got its teeth into me. It's very good. It is somehow doing something that I was like. Listen, I love Zelda. It was very unlikely that this game was going to be, for me at least personally, a bad game. But there was this whole, you know, okay, Breath of the Wild was something special. You know, this is obviously, you know, not something normally that Nintendo does. It's a mainline Zelda on the same console as another mainline Zelda. It is a direct sequel, which they, I think, have only done 2 other times. And it's, you know, the sequel to not only what some people would argue is the best Zelda game, but I think many people would argue Breath of the Wild is the best game ever made. So to like be a sequel to that is kind of an impossible task. And I think early on, I mean, I don't want to know how many hours I've already put into the game. If I've played probably close to 20 hours at this point, which doesn't even seem feasible, but somehow that's what I've done.
And I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface yet. That's the thing.
I have barely progressed main objectives because I am so in the deep end of
and I'm still looking to get where you are, and I'm like not even near where you
Yeah.
are, and you know, and it's just like, and I haven't even progressed stories. I'm just like, I want to go where Brenden is right now, and I want to do other stuff and just roam randomly.
Yeah, the way that this game rewards you for experimentation and rewards you for like adventuring and exploring. It's just constant. I don't feel like I wasted my time when I'm like, what's over there? Let me go find out. Like, I never feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm always on an adventure. It somehow has this magical mixture of always feeling like I am doing something grand, even if it's just like, let me go fuck up this bokoblin camp over here and, you know, shoot some bomb arrows and whatever, like blow things up.
Yo, that's something that's so good too. Just like pulling up an arrow, you can like swap your whole inventory so quickly and like,
yeah,
hey, I'm
like,
gonna throw a bomb on this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do fire. I'm gonna do this. It's like so easy. And like, I'm another, you know me, I can't fucking read maps. If I can do this shit easy, then they're doing something right. I feel like, because like
Yeah.
I have no issues with that stuff. It's great, and it makes me like it way more than.
Yeah, once you get a hang of it, it flows very nicely, and it just feels really good. And
I will say, and I've told you, it took me a while. Like Dom, like the building stuff, like I was pressing all the wrong buttons. I was like, what the fuck? I was getting very frustrated, and now I'm at a sweet spot where I'm like, oh, everything's good. But that was like the hardest thing to get through, and that wasn't a problem with me. It's like just my own stupidity. But
yeah.
This is gonna be a hot take, but whatever. You said Breath of the Wild is arguably one of the best games of all time. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is considered for many people like the best game ever made.
Like Breath of the Wild,
I just don't see it.
Yeah, I get it. I don't think it's in the top 10 for me, to be honest with you. But
you
then
don't
again,
think it's in the top 10? What?
Because honestly, I'd probably put if Tears of the Kingdom stays what it is right now, that's going to probably be the
okay. Well, remove Tears of the Kingdom out of the equation since you've played 5 hours of it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's your opinion. That's fine. That's wild to me, but sure.
Because, like I said to you, and without spoilers, Tears does a lot of stuff that I had minor complaints about in the first game, and makes it way more my style, which I like. But yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of stupid games in my top.
Yeah, that's fine. It's your personal taste. You're not gonna like the same. We're not gonna all like the same things. That's fine.
I feel like.
Do you think Breath of the Wild is a bad game though, Dom?
No, it's grown on me more. I just have problems with it. It's been hyped up to me for the last 5 years, 6 years, however long it's been.
Yeah.
I feel like Dom needs to go more into that game with less I need to beat it, and more I just need to experience it and not worry about.
It's not even stuff like that though. I just like the controls and stuff. I have problems with
I get
little
that.
things.
Yeah. I think the
I don't know. The button layout is bizarre to me.
It's not good in this one either, but you can maneuver it a little bit to make it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually
you can't do a running jump.
No. In this, you really have to hold.
Run is on the bottom and jump is on the top. So you have to flick to try to do a running jump. It's just
you can change that button mapping though.
Can you?
I mean, you can in Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know if you can.
All right, I'll have to double check. I looked quickly and couldn't find a thing to do that.
But yeah, I mean, it is annoying. I literally it's X right for Tears of the Kingdom. It's X is run and B is jump. So it is kind of wonky. I think there might be a way to actually swap.
They changed the buttons.
Oh no, I switched them.
I switched them. Yeah, when you play this game, you switch the jump button to what is it? It's the button is jump.
I don't know now.
It's Y,
but you switch them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we switched it to the bottom and down.
Okay.
Yeah, so the normal jump button basically, and it feels so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's some interesting controller input choices, but
I also I just keep thinking of Zelda doesn't need voice acting.
I feel like it does in this one we're playing now.
It's not game breaking to me. It's just I'm playing through a Zelda game and then all of a sudden there's voice acting and I'm like, why is this even here? They could have just done this with it just seems unnecessary, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have been asking for voice acting for a long time.
I think that's the thing. I think everything Dom's complaining about right now, he'll probably find way better. What we're playing right now.
I mean, it sometimes does sound a little off, but I actually like the voice actress that plays Zelda.
I do too. Same.
I think a lot of people dislike the actress that plays Zelda, but I actually do like her.
I like her.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that are vocal about disliking Zelda's voice actress. But I haven't
had a problem with the voices themselves. I don't mind the voice acting.
Yeah.
I just it feels completely unnecessary in a franchise that hasn't had voice acting in 40 years.
I mean,
35 years.
Listen to Todd. Todd's been saying forever that all these Nintendo games need to have voice acting. That's one of Todd's biggest complaints about all of them.
I don't see it.
It definitely is. It worked for me in this one. Whatever the Tears of the Kingdom. I wasn't really invested in the story of Breath of the Wild. I love the exploration. I just love the exploration and the mystery and just like I never used a fucking horse in 120 hours. Fucking a while. Like I didn't. I walked everywhere. I climbed and walked. That's all I did. So like I dig the way that Tears starts off. I think the story's awesome. I thought the voice acting was great. I was like totally sorry. I was getting like emotional. I'm like, like I said, I'm not a fucking Zelda guy. That's Brendan's job. Like, it's legit. Like, oh man, this is hitting me like really hard right now, and I'm loving it. You know, like the opening, like everything. The first like 20 minutes basically. And
yeah, that's what I've seen is like the first 15, 20 minutes are great. But...
Oh, dude, the whole game is great.
I mean, like Tears of the Kingdom, this is I would argue this is not a spoiler. Tears of the Kingdom starts off very story heavy.
Which is what I wanted in the last game.
And it's, in my opinion, very fucking good. Like very, really, really fucking good. Which is also kind of crazy.
It makes sense that Breath of the Wild doesn't start story driven.
No, it does. Yeah.
How it starts makes sense that you wouldn't have story.
Like Tears of the Kingdom hits the ground fucking a million miles an hour, and it's very fucking good. And I think they can do that because it's a sequel.
It's a follow-up. Yeah.
I think that's why they can do that, and I think it works. I think there is a lot of similarities about how, like, and this is kind of what I was alluding to before. Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, obviously, direct sequels. There's clearly like Jedi Survivor is a continuation of this character in this plot in this world and whatever, and you feel that in the cutscenes, you feel that in the gameplay, and I feel like you feel that off the bat in Tears of the Kingdom too. The gameplay carryover is not the same as Jedi Survivor, but I think there's some similarities to draw there, where it's like you are kind of just evolving the tool set you had from the previous game, and relearning it very quickly. But yeah, I mean, I could talk about Tears of the Kingdom forever. It's
Sam.
It's very, very, very good. I think the system's
I'm not
working
gonna lie
well.
to you. I'm waiting for the fucking podcast to end so we can go play the game. But it's fine. Keep on going. Do what you're gonna do.
Well, I feel like at this point we talked about Paramore too much, so we're definitely going to cut the final topic, and we'll just push it to the next episode, which I apologize. If you've been sitting here this whole time to hear us talk about Redfall and the state of Xbox, I'm really sorry. You'll have to wait until next time.
All right. You've already probably been disappointed a little bit by Redfall.
If you really want to hear my thoughts on Redfall and you can't wait, my full written review is up over on the website, as well as the first hour with live impressions from me, Todd, and then friend of the program, Jesse Vitelli and Eric Van Allen over there. So you can get some of that if you need it right now, and we'll talk about that stuff next time. I think you will like Tears of the Kingdom more, Dome. I think that this game...
I don't dislike Breath of the
No,
Wild.
I just think you're gonna really. I think you're gonna really like Tears.
I think
it to me, like, it doesn't. I don't know. Brendan's probably gonna hate that I say this, but Breath of the Wild doesn't feel like a Zelda game to me.
I think that's why I like.
I have to keep replacing all my weapons. Like, there's voice acting. Like, it just doesn't feel like a Zelda game to me.
It's weird that voice acting is the thing for you, because like I did so little of the story that like I don't even know that there was much voice acting in the first game.
How about that for a Zelda game?
Yeah, no, that's what I like.
You literally just said there's not a lot of story.
No,
I mean, I've seen story, and Brenden tells me that there's more, like, even outside of like the main.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff going on in Breath of the Wild that you can.
But even that is different than.
Yeah, but I also think
I guess Zelda always had its NPCs that were telling story through.
Yeah. And I also think that, like, as much as it isn't traditional Zelda, I think it has the spirit of traditional Zelda more than some of the other games do, because it's simply just like harkens back to Zelda 1 and Link to the Past of being just like truly open world adventures
it's essentially an open world. It's like a 3D version of the first game.
Yes. Yeah. So like I think it does draw on its roots strongly in a lot of ways. I mean, it obviously then does, there's a reason why there's the phrase, is this going to be the Breath of the Wild of X? Because, it's like a reimagining of, it's like it's grander than a reboot. It's like completely just, this is the fucking pinnacle of this open world adventure style game for a lot of people.
Like Brenden said, like Dom, like a huge complaint with story with me about the first game, and it's there for you. I just fucking didn't want to seek shit out. This game like feeds you story within the first couple hours, and you're like, you get heavily invested right away. You're like, oh, okay.
The story
Which
of
is
Tears
like
of the Kingdom
something that I felt was missing in the first game.
Is already so good and so I can't say anything.
No, just
but what speaks to how good
to
how good the gameplay is that I so desperately want to know what the next story beat is after what just happened to me in the game.
But I don't want to do it.
But I have yet to progress main missions because I am just dive so far deep into this game. And Todd gets what I'm saying when I say that.
Like, I'm just like,
there's, oh man, it's so weird too for this game that is a single player game is somehow also one of like the most multiplayer games I've ever played, where it's like, it's multiplayer on a meta level of like, me and Todd are talking about what's going on. We're very close to where we are each other, like story-wise in the game, like main progression of the game, yet our experience and what we're doing, same thing as Breath of the Wild, vastly fucking different. Yeah.
Before we went live today, I was talking to Dom, and maybe Mike was there, but
wow, Mike, he doesn't even know if you're there, Mike. He doesn't even fucking know if you're there.
Well, I was just saying though, like we brought this up so many times, but me and Brenden were like, dude, we're playing fucking two different games, man. Like you know, like I don't even know what you're talking about right now. But like I'm doing this, and you're like, what do you mean you're doing this? And it's like, you know.
So it has so much of that same DNA in Tears of the Kingdom. It's a little bit different, obviously, because there are things you can expect and things you can kind of like, you know.
Don't let anyone fool you though that it's the same map, because fucking those guys are fucking.
Yeah, the people that are saying that are a little bizarre.
Like, yeah, it's just...
But like I've been in Discord calls the past 2 days a lot of the time when I've been playing, and like, you know, Jesse, Alex, Eric, Ken, you know, all these people are playing Ryan, they're all playing the game as well, and we're all like relatively same progression wise, but we're all having such a vastly different experience. Like, I have been on this one portion of the game that like I've just really dug into. Not everyone else is really even doing that part of the game right now. Like, literally at one point today, it's so funny that you brought this up, Todd. At one point today, Ken goes, I feel like I'm playing a completely different game than the rest of you. What, like, you're all, like, saying this or doing this or, like, this is happening or that's happening, and I'm, like, over here, like, talking to this mailman and like pushing this side quest about like about this one character that I want to like follow.
Side quests too.
Yeah, it's just like there's so much to do, and it could be it's such a weird meta experience to if you have people that are playing this game and you're playing it, like talk to them about your time with it. Don't spoil it for anybody. Like we have like a hard no story spoiler talk unless we're at the same thing, but like it's such a ridiculous game. I love it so much. But it is not Majora's Mask, as like Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild are not the same. Majora's Mask and Tears of the Kingdom are not the same, but because they share that similarity of same console generation, you know, same engine, all this stuff, like a lot of reused assets, you know, similar world, characters, whatever, obviously telling different stories and doing in Ocarina, and actually in both scenarios doing similar things but also very different things. I think Tears of the Kingdom on like a foundational level taps into that Majora's Mask mindset of, we're going to take this other game and we're going to keep a lot of it and change a lot of it and iterate on a bunch of it. And obviously, like, timeline's weird in that time of Zelda, so it's kind of, you know, Ocarina of Time is, Majora's Mask is one of the timeline splits, right? Ocarina of Time is when it splits 3 times, timeline-wise.
Ocarina of Time is a split, yeah.
So, you know, it's a sequel in a sense, whereas Tears of the Kingdom is a hard sequel to Breath of the Wild. I actually think that Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild is the convergence of all the timelines?
Majora's Mask, Wind Waker,
Yeah, I think
and Twilight Princess are the three, I think, that offset
that split off of
Ocarina. I could be wrong, though.
The three timelines are like Link stays in the future as an adult.
That would be Twilight.
Ganon is banished. Then you have Link. Child Link goes back. That's Majora's Mask. And then you have
Heroes Defeated.
Heroes Defeated, which I think is Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, I believe, yeah.
So Mike's fucking got all the timelines fucking down.
I was watching a video the other day complaining about
Did I have it right, Mike?
Huh?
Did I get the 3 games right?
Oh, I don't remember what the follow-up games were. Yeah, I was watching a video the other day where they were complaining that
I actually think Zelda 2 is when Link is when Link is defeated.
I feel like Twilight Princess is farther down.
Yeah, I feel like essentially what the video was complaining about was that it makes sense for you to have a timeline for young Link and adult Link because like time travel shenanigans, but the nature of adding another timeline where Ganon wins, it means that you should make timelines for like any weird permutation, like if Link, wore blue socks that day.
I think two things.
Ultimately, he says like I think they made that timeline just because they had a bunch of games that didn't have a place to go compared to the other 2 timelines. So like, well, we got to make up a third timeline. Let's just put them under Ganon.
Like real spoiler is that I don't think there's actually a real timeline. They made that because people wouldn't shut the fuck up. And now they are more conscious about it, but also Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, which are direct sequel to each other, they are the convergence of all of the timelines. So they're basically not retconning, but they are just like, we're going to move on from the timeline stuff, and this is the timeline now. We're going to converge them all into this game.
There's no fucking trains, though.
No trains?
No trains.
Yeah, the fucking Phantom Tollbooth.
You haven't played Tears of the Kingdom.
Fucking Phantom Tollbooth doesn't show up.
Wait,
Wasn't that a book?
Did they lose in Wind Waker? Because I never finished Wind Waker.
No. The hero is defeated is... So...
Yeah, what does that mean?
At the end of Ocarina of Time, Link... In Ocarina of Time, you are time traveling. You are young Link and adult Link.
Yeah.
And when you... As an adult... Zelda songs. I will say this. One of the things that a lot of people hate on Breath of the Wild for is the music, and I like that's like a hard disagree for me. I think people are absolutely wrong when they say that that it has some of the worst Zelda music, because I think it has arguably some of the best Zelda music because it fits.
Breathe, man.
It just fits the game. Breathe. It's like,
yeah, man. Like you want you to hear like the sound of you stomping through grass, but then it lets the game breathe.
It really does feel like the music is like blowing in the wind. Like when you're fucking like 100%. It. Oh man, that soundtrack is so good. It's like just like the little piano notes coming in. Like it's so good. What a fucking game. What a fucking game. All right, let's
fuck everything else.
Yeah. Let me pull up here. So.
Todd, there's gonna be a new TikTok emote apparently at the end of the month, but people don't know what it is yet.
Okay, that's a Fortnite tease for all you Fortnite sickos out there. So, we'll talk about Tears of the Kingdom. I'm sure probably a lot going forward.
Every week,
just updates basically. Yeah, like we'll definitely have some spoiler-free updates as we go on, and when we eventually finish the game, whenever that happens. We'll do a Tears of the Kingdom post-mortem at some point with some guests or something. But
we'll be talking about Tears of the Kingdom while we're crying over Manchester by the Sea. Be like, oh, but I got to this part.
But I got to the shrine. And then like I said, we got a lot of coming up things for you with obviously PTC Movie Club, but we'll have a Star Wars episode. We will revisit this Redfall conversation as well. Maybe next week or maybe midweek. I'll do something. We'll see. But as we do with every episode, we end with a little thing we like to call not what's in the box. or maybe what's in the box. But we end with the game, and we keep track of those points for the year. The scoreboard as it stands for 2023 is Todd in first with 22, but Dom has been making his ground back each week. He's sitting at 21 in second place. Mike not too far behind with 18 points. A couple of guest points on the board, but that's a separate leaderboard. No guests tonight means we don't have to worry about that. But before
What's
we play,
Todd at?
Todd is at 22, you are at 21, and Mike is at 18. But before we get into that, he's coming for it. I mean, I won't say it yet.
I need a sweet.
Zelda games. It's fucking.
We'll see. We haven't gotten there yet. Before we get there, first of all, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 369. If you want to help support the show, you can do that in a bunch of different ways. Of course, you can read everything we do and see everything we do at passthecontroller.io. We're on Twitter and on Instagram at passcontroller. And of course, if you're watching live right now or listening later, we are always live every time we record the show at twitch.tv/passcontroller. So if you want to watch us do the episode live, you can head over there. If you can't watch us live, but you still want to watch us, you can go find us on YouTube. The videos are always up. The podcast is always up there afterwards as well. So that being said, following us in all these places, subscribing to us in all these places, leaving us reviews, comments, all those things, very beneficial. We appreciate you if you can do that. Sharing on social media is obviously beneficial as well. If you have some bucks kicking around, you want to help support the show, you can go to patreon.com/passthecontroller, become a patron. You can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and get yourself some sick swag. Or you can go to twitch.tv/passcontroller and become a subscriber over there. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Prime sub every month. And if you're not using it with us, you should use it with someone, because it's just free money that Mr. Jeffrey Bezos is putting back in his pocket if you don't give it to somebody out there in the interwebs. So give it to us, give it to someone else you watch and enjoy, but give it to someone, because that money just goes off into the ether if you don't. Well, not in the ether, it just goes back into Jeff Bezos' pockets. And, does he need it? I don't know, Mike, does he need it?
Yeah, that divorce was hard.
Yeah,
what?
that's a divorce.
What were you going to say, Todd?
No, I said he needs it.
Yeah, he needs it.
Where did I put the games? Okay. So
Jeffrey Bezos.
So we're going to play a game.
Mike, that's all that was going on in my head the whole time.
Jeffrey Bezos.
God, he was in Parks and Rec.
Liam has me do this thing, and we're in the car. And
he was.
He wants to guess the songs, and I'll randomly put on songs from inside because I made him listen to that all the time while we're in the car. So, today I put on Jeffrey Bezos, and it's been in my head all fucking day. I'm like, I gotta listen to that soundtrack again. All right, first game.
Minish Cap.
Link to the Past. Second game.
Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass is the right game.
I like it.
I almost said Phantom Goldbooth again.
The next one is what's the one?
Minish Cap.
I said Minish Cap.
Oh, okay. Fucking
what's
Spirit
the 3DS
Track.
one? What's the 3DS one? You go into the walls and everything.
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds. Yeah, that's the next one. Link's Awakening. That's the next one.
Oracle of Seasons.
Oh, yes. Yep.
That's Game Boy Color.
Link and Tingle Go to White Castle. That's one.
Link's Crossbow Adventure.
That is definitely a game.
That's a real game.
Not canon though.
It takes place in the fourth timeline.
Yeah, where Link has a crossbow range.
All right, you ready? We're gonna play a game we like to call Answer Unlocked. In Answer Unlocked, I will read the description and sometimes the title.
A Zelda game, though.
And sometimes the title of the achievements/trophies from this game. Whoever gets it first gets the point. As we said from the top, the leaderboard is Todd at 22, Dom at 21, Mike at 18. Game number 1. Here we go. Welcome to blank blank. Complete the tutorials. Rise to fame. Complete 25% of the gigs in career.
Rock Band 4.
Incorrect. Nation's
I was
Star.
very confident.
Complete 50% of the gigs in career. World known. Complete 75% of the gigs in career.
Can you say the one before Nations, whatever?
Rise
The
to
first-
fame. Complete
Okay.
25% of the gigs in career.
Okay.
Glimmer. Earn 111 stars in career.
Rock Band 3.
Incorrect. Sparkle.
Rock Band
Show.
2.
Incorrect. Sparkle. Earn
Rock Band.
Incorrect. Incorrect.
Okay.
Sparkle. Earn 333 stars in career. Shine. Earn 555 stars in career.
Yeah, I think we're off track.
Platinum Blonde. Earn platinum level on a career challenge. Iced Out. Earn diamond level on a career challenge. Road Most Traveled. Unlock every venue. The Long Road Ahead. Complete career on any...
Rock Band Green Day.
Incorrect. The Long Road
Band
Ahead.
Beatles.
Complete career on any difficulty
Rock Band
with
Beatles.
any
Rock Band Beatles.
instrument. Incorrect. MC. Host an online career game and play a song. Face to
Rock
face.
Band Aerosmith.
Incorrect.
Rock Band fucking whatever else.
Incorrect. Face to face. Complete 25 online pro face-off matches, win or lose. Till death do us part. Play an online do or die game. Nice to meet you. Complete the
Guitar
gigs.
Hero 3.
Incorrect. Complete the gigs and unlock all the celebrity characters.
Guitar Hero 2.
Incorrect. A new challenge awaits. Complete 50 of the career challenges at Platinum or Diamond. Testing the waters. Play every blank blank song once. 15 minutes of fame. Complete a song as an avatar rocker.
I feel like I know the name of this game, but I don't feel like I own it, but like I barely played it.
In the moment, successfully complete a blank moment. Starlight Starbright. Score over 10,000 points while in a single blank blank deployment.
He's throwing us off right now. That's what he's doing.
I have
He's
I have
blanking
not
out random-
omitted so
he's
many
blanking out-
things.
He's blanking out words that don't need to be blanked out.
A Cool Mill. Score over 1 million points as a band in any single in career or quick play.
As a
Mike,
band.
you're the
okay,
drummer.
that-
You should know this.
Well, I was stuck. So, sidebar, you just said band. So in my head, I was trying to remember the name of that. What was the name of that Guitar Hero game? The most recent one, the one that you could play.
World Tour.
Was it called World Tour? Like the one that just came with like
The
a
one was-
standalone.
It was a solo, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure Todd already said World Tour anyways.
Okay, I was trying
No,
to think
I-
of that one.
Is it Fuser?
Incorrect. Fevered Pitch. 100% a song as a vocalist. Jack of all trades. Complete at least one challenge for every instrument at gold level or better.
Is this a... This is going to be a weird question. Is this a base game or is this DLC?
This is a standalone game.
Oh, is it Rocksmith?
Incorrect. There's no I
Look
in
random.
blank blank. Complete a song with 4 players without any members failing on expert in career or quick play. 4 of a kind. Complete a song as
Lego Rock Bands.
Incorrect. Complete a song as 4 of the same
I was just trying to
instrument
remember if there were other offshoots.
as 4 of the same instrument on any difficult in quick
For
play
the
or
same
career.
instrument.
Star powered. Earn an 11 times multiplayer.
Oh, Star Wars Rock Band or Star Wars
Incorrect.
fucking Guitar Hero. All right, good.
Picture perfect. Streak through an entire song without missing a note on medium or harder difficulty. Treasure hunt. Collect all of the secret notes. That achievement is worth 490 points.
Jesus.
Secret
This is
notes?
also trophies. It's not an Xbox exclusive. Sorry. My first gig. Complete a career gig on any difficulty. Secret notes 1. These are not going to be helpful. I'm going to skip all the secret notes ones. Jeez.
I don't know how this game works, but it's not Brutal Legend, right?
Incorrect. Studio time. Create a GH Studio song.
Okay. It's Guitar Hero 4.
Incorrect.
Guitar Hero
Can we just-
3.
Can we just
Incorrect.
get rid of this one?
Guitar
I feel
Hero
like we're not-
2.
Incorrect.
Yeah, we
this
are-
was
we are-
this
Guitar
was
Hero.
this was the easiest one, I thought.
Guitar Hero.
Incorrect.
Uh,
Guitar Hero World
Guitar-
Tour.
Incorrect.
Guitar
I
Hero
forgot that
Live. Guitar Hero Live.
Guitar Hero
That
is
was what I was
not
trying to think of.
in the title of this game.
You just said GH something. Can you read the last one that you just gave to us?
Yeah. Did say GH, so that made me think Guitar Hero, but go on.
Create a GH studio song, and I will reiterate, this is not a game that is like Guitar Hero branded. Like this isn't Guitar Hero : something. It's not. We can stop guessing Guitar Hero. And I'll just say you can stop guessing Rock Band 2. It is not one of those games.
But it is a video game, correct?
It is indeed a video game.
Is it
Okay.
Wii Music?
Incorrect.
Oh, that would have been a sick pull.
Is it Switch music?
Are we stumped on
Oh,
this?
Wii U. It's Wii U Music.
Are we really stumped on this? Is this a stumper?
I really feel like we spent way too much time on this one, to be honest with you.
One more guess around the horn.
We're on the 40-minute mark.
Let's see. Instruments, stars, gigs,
You're thinking
or
Blank is a spin-off
It's a
video game
Metroidvania.
as part of another series of music rhythm games published November 3rd, 2009 for the PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, and Nintendo DS consoles.
oh, DJ Hero.
Incorrect.
Oh, that's actually
Well-
not a bad guess. So all things
I'm
aside,
out of ideas.
Yeah, that was actually a good guess because I forgot about that game. I feel like I always wanted to play that game too, and I never did.
Brenden had it.
Oh, really?
It was
good?
fun. I liked it. They made a sequel.
Oh, DJ Hero Part 2.
Damn.
Got him.
All right, one more guess
wrap-
around the
wrap
horn.
it up. No,
One more guess
wrap it
around the
up.
horn.
I mean, I got nothing.
It's a
so,
spin.
I mean-
It's a spin-off of Guitar Hero. I'll give you that.
Oh, okay.
Shit. What did they have? They had guitar.
I don't know. You've named pretty much every game they have
Oh,
in
it was
that
Pop
series,
Hero.
except
It
for
was
this.
Mike. Very Pop Hero.
Yeah, I'm blanking on whatever this other thing is.
Yep.
Here, I'll give you one more little nudge.
You know what?
I'm gonna list all of the games in the Guitar Hero series except for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
This will be good.
Guitar Hero, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, Guitar Hero World Tour, Guitar Hero 5, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, Guitar Hero Live. Jesus, they have a lot of games. Guitar Hero Aerosmith, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero Van Allen, Guitar Hero
Van Halen, you asshole.
Van Halen.
Van Allen, Guitar
White
Hero
people music, that's
Encore,
why.
exactly. Rock the 80s, Guitar Hero Smash Hits, this game, DJ Hero 2, Guitar Hero on Tour, Guitar Hero on Tour Decades, Guitar Hero on Tour Modern Hits, Guitar Hero 3 Mobile, Guitar Hero 3 Backstage Pass, Guitar Hero World Tour Mobile, Guitar Hero 5 Mobile, Guitar Hero
All right, just stop.
Carabiner,
Stop.
Guitar Hero Arcade,
Okay.
and Guitar Hero iOS.
All right.
All
I
right.
did hear you say Guitar Hero AC/DC.
Ooh.
I will again say that this is not a game that is
Okay. You
You
branded
read all
as
the
Guitar
games and
Hero.
you said it was the game that was missing.
Please,
Yeah,
I'm
I
begging
know.
you.
Because I also don't remember him saying Guitar Hero Green Day either, but maybe
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
No, someone did say that.
I'm just
Okay.
reading what is listed here on their Wikipedia page.
Okay. So it is a
As
spin-off of
standalone
Guitar
releases,
Hero.
those must have been considered DLC. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's a
Oh,
spin-off
possible.
of Guitar Hero. It's not one of the base Guitar Hero games. It's not DJ Hero. What else do they make?
Oh, I know what it is.
Donkey
It's
Kong.
Band
Donkey Kong.
Hero.
It is indeed Band Hero. I thought this was an easy get. Dom gets
No.
the
I
point.
Donkey
don't-
Konga.
I honestly
Yeah.
don't remember Band Hero.
Literally, you had to list everything, and I was like, all right, it's got to have something with hero at the end. What else? What else had hero at the end?
Never even heard of Van Hero.
It was
their
around
rock
the same
band.
time Rock Band
It
came
was
out.
their
yeah.
rock band.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I thought Guitar Hero World Tour was their rock band.
No, Band Hero
They
was
made
their
Band
rock
Hero
band.
first, and then they did World Tour after. Because I think
Okay.
I think the idea was that they thought that it didn't do well because it didn't have Guitar Hero as the
Yes.
as a name. Yeah.
as the pull.
Whew, that was a rough one. All right, game number 2. Hopefully this goes quicker.
Legend of Zelda 1.
Got a
Legend of
car
Zelda 2.
and a date. Complete Welcome to the Age of Blank.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Incorrect. Start a revolution. Complete Exploited in the Bowels of Hell. Thick
Brutal
as a...
Legend?
It is indeed Brutal Legend. And Dom, for the first time this year, takes the leaderboard. But is Dom going to get the sweep? That's the real question. Is he going to go triple back sweeps? Are we on Triple Crown right now? This is the Triple Crown episode. We will see. Game number 3. I almost just fucking said the name of the game.
Game number 3.
Get them out of our schools. Eliminate 10 signs.
Bully.
Incorrect. Eliminate 10 blank and stop them from spreading their filthy lies.
Psychonauts 2?
Incorrect. You need the full title of this game, and if you give me the incorrect title partially, you are going to be potentially excluded from getting the right answer.
Put a time out.
Well, we'll see. We'll play it. We'll play it by ear. Master of controls. Master the mastery of controlling your controls. You're the best around.
Okay.
Complete the single-player game.
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
That achievement sounds familiar.
A little help from your friends. Complete the multiplayer game.
Beatles.
Omaha Steaks. Delicious. Create 5,000 fillets. Not a Portal reference. Collect all 47 cakes in single-player mode.
This does sound familiar.
I've definitely played this game because
Sugar High. Collect all 47 cakes in multiplayer mode. Get over yourselves. Select credits from the help and options menu and watch the whole thing.
I'm gonna go Hail Mary, Explosion Man.
Mike said, fuck your Triple Crown. Mike gets the point and draws that third place closer.
Brenden hasn't mentioned a game I've known in like 3 weeks because he's like, I don't want Todd to get me.
You don't know Brutal Legend or Band Hero or Explosion Man?
Stop it. Yes, no, none of those games.
You don't know Explosion Man. That was like top of the charts Xbox Live Arcade before like eShops were a thing.
Yeah, I never played it. Yeah.
That was like one of the biggest indie games on that era. Mike played it.
I also never played the other one too.
You've never heard of Brutal Legend?
I've heard of Brutal Legend, but like I've never fucking.
I mean, if we got further into those achievements, you probably would have got it. I think Dom, just made a very good guess.
I don't think
Which one?
I don't know. Todd's
Brutal
complaining
Legend.
because he's not in first anymore. All of a sudden,
I've been waiting for Brutal Legend for a while. I think I brought it up every week.
I thought about Brutal Legend when he said hell.
He's definitely going to bring it up. Yeah, as soon as he said hell, I was like, it's Brutal Legend.
well,
He likes sort of spaced out.
when Dom guessed Brutal Legend during Band Hero, I was like, fuck, I might have to change the games. And I did change the third game because the third game was going to be Hi-Fi Rush. I was going to do 3 musical games. And I changed it because I was like, now I feel like the pressure's on. We're going to go.
I honestly was going to guess Hi-Fi Rush for the first game, but you had mentioned so many things that were like rock band / guitar specific. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
So that ends the week with Dom taking the crown at 23, Todd at 22, and Mike at 19. We got a tight fucking race coming up.
Answer right in like 4 weeks. At least.
I mean, I don't get better. It's a skill-based game. I mean, what do you want from me? I can't.
You'll get them at the movie with the movie game.
Yeah, I can't cherry pick them for you. What am I gonna cherry pick them for you? We're coming up on the middle of the year too. We're almost at that middle way point. So this is a very tight match. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good year for this. Mike's eating a fucking Wendy's sandwich right now. We're not sponsored by Wendy's. But if Wendy's wants to kick us in,
but yeah, if Wendy wants to reach out,
yeah, Mike will eat these sandwiches every week. Just saying.
Wendy's, I'm loving your way. What's their thing?
I don't know. I was gonna hit I was gonna hit the bell fucking thing in Discord. Oh, banana. That's a very inside joke that no one will understand. I apologize. Anyways, Thanks for listening to this week's episode 369, I think is what I said. Be good, enjoy yourselves, follow us on all the social medias, and we'll see you next time.